Before we jump into this episode, I want to invite you to join our community to help you become a better steward, scale to billions, and ultimately give more or all of it away. All I want you to do is to click the subscribe button right now. I love your support. It's incredible to see your comments, and we're just getting started. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. Thank you so much for subscribing. It means the world to me. Welcome to the Build It to Billions podcast, where we guide successful entrepreneurs and investors on the journey from millions to billions. And we believe that the key to scaling and compounding your wealth starts every single day with a mindset and practice of stewardship over ownership and applying billionaire biblical principles. Each and every guest we bring on, we're talking about how to level up our faith impact, scaling our business and life. And I'm excited about our next guest. He is no exception. He's out of the great state of Ohio. He's an Ohio State Buckeye graduate. He's a certified financial planner. He wrote a cool book called Hip Hop X Finance. It's available everywhere, and we're talking about how to become a financial gangster in all the good ways. By the way, Drew makes it our guest makes it his personal mission to make personal finance easy to understand, and accessible for all, and so much more. Please welcome to the show with me, Mr. Drew Boyer. Drew, how are we doing?
Hey, Brett. Thanks for having me on today.
Absolutely. And for our listeners getting to know you for the first time, would you give us just a little bit more about your story and your current focus?
Yeah, so I've been a certified financial planner for a little over 2 decades now. And I got the great start about 2003 after a tech bubble had burst. And I had been going for about 5 years after that, trying to get people reinvested, get back in the stock market, take some risks, go get some real estate. And then I got my 10,000 hours in there after the 5 years. And then we all got hit sideways by the great financial crisis. And I learned after that I really didn't know anything. And so since then, I've been on this mission to always keep learning and to not think I know everything all at once, but to keep reading, started writing more, get a few years forward, get my certified financial planner degree. And then, COVID hits, we get all brand new rules to the game. And leading up to now, my mission is to help people to make personal finance not only educating, but entertaining. And with the book, I decided to go with the angle from music. The backstory on that was before I had to grow up and get a real job. I was a drummer. Somebody way back in 6th grade gave a spastic little boy a couple drumsticks. I was able to sit down and play. And all the way through high school, got into college, even played up in Brooklyn a little bit after college, but had to grow up and get a real job. And so now, 20 years in, wanted to give back something that I've learned, mixing the worlds of my two loves, which is music and then money.
Awesome. So let's dive right into that. What's the number one secret to becoming a financial gangster in all the right ways?
Number one secret is to just get started. And I would say, write down a plan. Now, I'm in financial planning, obviously. There's a stat out there, I believe, that people that write down a plan they're 80% more likely to get it done. The act of doing something and taking the first step. So write down where you want to get to, where you're at now. And then people like me are going to be helping you how to get from point A to point B.
Fantastic. That's simple enough. Be 80% more effective by just writing it down of where you want to go. So step one is to get started is to write down a plan. What's step number 2?
Do it. You get started. In the book, the first chapter of the book, which I call tracks in the book, is getting off debt row. And it's obviously playing off of 1990s record labels there in hip hop. But I love this quote from Warren Buffett, he's generally accepted as the greatest investor of all time. But it's talking about debt, or if you're in a bad spot, is to, when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. And then you got to be able to change your behaviors. So that's where you want to start out in second phase. Write it down, make a plan, and then start taking some action forward.
Okay, that's great. By the way, are there actual songs that you associate with the track? What is the song for this one?
Yeah, all the way throughout the book are hip hop lyrics, and they're little excerpts. So it's not just one song in particular. It's scattered throughout, along with lots of great graphics in there to keep you engaged. And the book is meant to be more of an experience. So if you're not a person that likes to read, this should bring you into it. There's also an audiobook version where if you're a multitasker, like all of us seem to be nowadays, there's an audiobook. Listen to it. You won't get all the graphics though.
Excellent. What's step number 3 to becoming a financial gangster?
Yeah, so getting out of debt, it's understanding credit. So a lot of people don't know good debt from bad debt. That's a great step there.
What is good debt from bad debt? Let's walk through it.
Mm-hmm. So good debt, you would consider something that you're buying an appreciating asset. So you're talking about real estate is a great one to go off of. Does it spit off income to you? That's good. Uh, that's what I consider good debt, is something that's an appreciating asset that goes up in value. Maybe you can also, not only grow, but give you some current income. Bad debt, obviously the worst one out there is credit cards. Those are terrible debt. Payday loans, don't even get me started on those. They should be outlawed. That's bad debt, something that's costing you a ton of money that may or may not be going to something that's an appreciating asset.
So if you like this little short clip of the interview I just did, click over here to watch the full interview. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much, everybody.